Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Three Rivers Financial Wellness Podcast. I'm here in the studio with Ashley.
Hey.
And we have a very special guest, Nicole Fairchild, who is our head dream maker at our Columbia City branch.
Yes.
So we are super excited to have her, and she's going to be talking a lot about financial wellness and dream making and what that looks like. So why don't you tell us a little bit, first of all, you're newer to the credit union. You've picked up some tenure now. Why don't you talk to us about like what drew you to Three Rivers and like how has it been so far? Like where have you felt like you've been able to really make impact in Three Rivers?
Yeah, so I've been here, 11 months, so not quite a whole year yet. What drew me to Three Rivers was I came from the nonprofit sector. I've been in the nonprofit world leadership for about 20 years. And one of the things that was happening, as most people, as they advance in age, I had children, and they are now 8 and 10, getting more involved in sports and activities, and I was missing out on a lot of those things because in leadership and nonprofit world, you're doing all of the things, wearing all the hats, responsible for the fundraising and more, and I was missing out on a lot of moments with them. So I started really looking at my life and saying, what can I change? What can I do differently? And my resume was actually shared with Don from a fellow Rotarian. I'm pretty involved in the community with community service. I'm very civic-minded, servant leader. And my resume was passed to Don, who shared it with Boss Ballard, who I love very much. I got invited in for an interview, and she made it seem like this was Disney World to look at. If I'm being really honest, I remember calling her Disney during my interview. And she's like, we are a talent development company, and we focus on building our teams and making them the best that they could be. And I'm like, I'm always looking for opportunities where I can improve as a leader. And you're telling me that I can work somewhere that's going to pour into me and allow me to be a better leader, and I don't have to worry about finding the money to do it. It's going to be part of my job, and I get to make a difference in people's lives. Sign me up.
Right.
So that drew me here, and then I had heard wonderful things about the culture of Three Rivers and about how Three Rivers invests in their employees, not just with leadership training, but allowing them to volunteer in the community, give back. And I also knew about the foundation from working at nonprofits and getting those grant dollars. So I wanted to be more involved in that way as well. So I'm asking all the questions to see how I can get more involved at Three Rivers. Part of one of the things that I've learned about is the Sparks program, being here, and I had no idea what it was. I thought I was signing up for fireworks because the picture on the Engage is a firework, and I'm like, is this part of a firework committee or something? Yeah. So I attended the first meeting. It's not about fireworks, it's about financial wellness. I had known about wellness from the aspect of working at Macmillan Health, where we focus on mental, social, emotional health. And many of those concepts I started to apply to what you were sharing in the Sparks program. So tying in that with financial wellness. And when you think about it, financial wellness does impact your mental health, your physical health, your social health, because are you going out? Are you spending the dollars every time? The whole mission of Three Rivers, helping people understand money matters every day, that impacts your financial health, but then also the vision of being able to be the best in the world or the galaxy at financial wellness is something that I've really become passionate about over the last few months. So that was kind of a lot. Yeah. Sorry about why Three Rivers. Yeah. And how I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I love what you talked about, and I think it's so cool that you almost came from like this health sector, right? And now you're in financial and what we call wellness, which is different than I think a lot of other places will talk about financial education or financial resources and things like that. And I love that we call it wellness because it's, like you said, it's part of mental wellness or social wellness or even physical wellness. So it's like it's all connected, and so I think it's so cool that it almost feels like a continuation of what you were doing before, but now without having to obviously like fight day and day for everything else and getting to do things with your kids.
Yeah.
I know one of the huge things that your branch is known for is your guys' surprise and delight. So do you want to talk about what is surprise and delight? I don't think our listeners will know. And so what is surprise and delight, and like what kind of things do you guys do, and like how are you seeing the impact of that?
Yes, so surprise and delight, I had heard about it when I initially started at Three Rivers, and Don had shared, be able to surprise your members with a cupcake or congratulations on, paying off a loan or doing something just do something out of the ordinary to make them feel really special. Well, I obviously had to take it next level because that's what I do.
That's who you are.
That's who I am. Yeah. So when Don had said cupcakes, I'm like, we could do cupcakes, we could do cookies, we could do confetti, we could do sparklers, we could do so many things. And then I had to reel it in, right? So we celebrate our members from loan payoffs to getting their first bank account, to getting their first credit card, to life celebrations of maybe it's not a car loan, maybe it's not a loan at all, but just milestones in general. Like, hey, I'm getting ready to retire. Holy smokes, you've worked the last 40 years plus of your life and you're getting ready to retire. Get me the confetti popper.
Yeah.
So then we get the confetti poppers and we celebrate our members. So we'll do that in our lobby, but it's become so much of what we do in Columbia City that each one of my service reps have cups on their desk of confetti. So when members come in and they say, oh, I'm getting ready to go do this, or this is my mortgage payoff, they grab their cups and they celebrate the member. And so that has landed on Google reviews, which we're really proud of.
Yeah.
And now other branches are starting to do it. St. Joe, Todd at St. Joe is now doing that. And we're hoping that it spreads to other places because it really does make the members feel appreciated and valued. Sure, it seems a little hokey, but they really appreciate it. We've even gone so far as getting a helium tank, so they also get balloons. So on their birthday, we'll give them a balloon and maybe some Three Rivers swag. So we always tie in Three Rivers swag because if it's out there, it's our marketing materials. It's if you see Three Rivers, it's one of those things, you know, if you see it all the time, you're drinking from the cup, share the cup with others because it's color changing and it's cool. And now they're like, wait, what's Three Rivers about? And then they're gonna tell everyone about Three Rivers. So that's a little bit about what we do.
Why do you connect specifically with celebrating members so much? Like, why is that important to you?
So celebrations in general, it's important to me. So growing up, I will be honest, we had birthday parties and things like that, but it wasn't ever like a spectacular celebration. We grew up pretty, I'm gonna be honest, we grew up pretty poor. And so celebrations were sometimes on a smaller scale and you wish that you could have the cool birthday party or things like that. And it's just, there's so many things to be celebrated in life beyond the birthday party. And those little moments that we think are just, oh, this is just, you know, a little moment, I'm paying off my mortgage. It's like, no, this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. And you might be just coming in to make your final payment, and that's a huge relief off your shoulders. But then let's celebrate you and let's ask about what's next. And what are your dreams?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I've really been excited about doing here in Columbia City is, and I'm sure you've all heard it when you walk into the Columbia City branch, if I'm on the line or I'm doing lobby leadership, welcome to Three Rivers in Columbia City. How can I make your dreams come true? Members were initially like, who is this lady?
Yeah.
But when
Her
I
confetti and her happiness.
Yes, exactly. But I remember being on the teller line when I was going through SR training because I started from the very bottom with the training because I knew nothing of the financial world. So I was on a drawer just like all the other SRs, and I was asking members that. And I remember a gentleman in the line right next to me, and I'm asking the member in front of me, what are your dreams? If you had a magic wand, money was not an issue, what are your dreams? And he starts sharing his dreams, and the guy next to me is like looking over trying to see me because I'm super short and I was wearing a headband with an antenna so that way they could see me on the line because I literally had members say, are you standing up? And I'm like, yeah, I'm standing up. And they're like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure I'm standing up. So I would wear antennas so they could see me over our counter. But he's like, I think I'm in the wrong line. And I'm like, no, you're not in the wrong line, sir. I'm just having a conversation. And he's like, no, I want her line. I want to experience that. So he got out of line and got back in my line. And then I asked him about his dreams and so forth. He's like, I've never been asked this before. And so it does give pause to some of our members. Like, I don't know what my dreams are. It's really fun to get that out of our members, to hear their dreams, because sometimes they've never been asked that. I was sharing with Ashley yesterday, I opened a 17-year-old's account, and his mom's sitting next to him. And as part of our onboarding process, we asked the financial wellness grade, and I was surprised when he said, well, I would say I'm a B, because I haven't started paying any bills yet, but I'm looking forward to paying bills. And I said, okay, I love that. And I said, what are your dreams? Like, what do you want out of life if you had that magic wand? And he goes, well, I want to be a physical therapist. I want to buy a house probably here in town, have 2 kids and a wife. And his mom's just looking at him. Her jaw drops open and she's like, I had no idea.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I'm like, you've never asked your kiddo his dreams? So it's amazing to get to be part of their story. And then now I'm going to follow up with him about youth in college. So mom got excited when I shared youth in college with her because that's going to help her save money. She didn't even know that we had a whole department that will help with FAFSA, helping find scholarships, looking at the cost of college. So I got her connected for both of her kiddos for youth in college. But then I'm also thinking him retirement, building credit. How can we help with youth in college now, but also buying his future home? His mom's been a member since she was born, she said. So I have a feeling that he's going to be with us for a very long time, and probably his kids too. So
Hopefully.
yeah.
I mean, with you at the helm, of course. Why would they switch?
Why would they? We're gonna celebrate everything.
I think it's interesting. Like, there's so much, when you're a kid, there's so much emphasis on, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And what are your dreams? And then somewhere along the way,
And it's earlier than we think it is.
yeah, like, you kind of go, okay, I'm going to high school so that I can be a whatever. And you kind of pick. And that's it. You kind of stop dreaming. And so I love that you bring that back to people, no matter if they're 17 or 65 and retiring. So I think it's so important. And hopefully lots of people want to dream and will come to Three Rivers to dream with us. That's a big part of our role, really.
Absolutely. We are dream makers.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you touched on, and Ashley, you just touched on it too. Like, I think the thing with dreaming, and we've talked about this on podcasts, is there's kind of like two very common things I think we see with dreams. The first thing that we see with dreams is that people just don't dream. And that's, I think, the first thing that when you ask the question, sometimes you're awakening like, I don't know, I haven't dreamt. Like I've just been going through the motions, just trying to survive at this point. Like I'm not dreaming, I'm surviving, I think the second thing is I think sometimes people do dream, but they don't feel like anybody actually cares about what their dream is. And so that's the second thing that asking, what are your dreams like? Oh, actually, I dream like the kid yesterday. Like I do have dreams, but nobody's actually stopped to ask me about it. So I think it's a really cool question. I also wanted to go back to the surprise and delight because the concept comes from, and I'm sure you're aware, it comes from the book Unreasonable Hospitality. It's about this restaurant in New York. And in New York, they basically, if I remember the story correctly, I actually watched the author in conference once, which was really cool. But he talked about they had gone to this award ceremony and they were nominated to be like one of the top 100 restaurants, top 50, I'm gonna mess it up. They go through the whole list, they're last, which is still an incredible honor. They're one of the top 50 restaurants in the world, but they were 50th. And he was just like, we're not gonna settle for that. And so as they thought about like, how could we be better? It was like, how about instead of it being just food, we make it how people feel when they leave. It's the famous quote that has been around forever, but it's like people will forget what you did, they'll forget everything you said, but they will remember how they felt. And I think when it comes to surprise and delight, like we have an opportunity for people to feel seen, feel recognized, and walk out feeling different. It's not even about necessarily what we did or said, it's about how they felt in that moment. And so I think that's, it's very tied in with dreams, but it's just so impactful that you get to do that every day and that all of us get to do that every day.
And how you connect to those feelings is part of how you are motivated to make your dreams and goals come true. And with money, they're so closely tied. I mean, I've been working a lot with our team on what does money make you feel? Good, bad, and indifferent. It doesn't matter to me what feelings you have, but like it should matter to you because you can use that for motivation to move forward and make your dreams come true and your goals. So I think that makes a challenge out of this episode. I think the challenge is, number one, if you don't know what your dreams are, dream. We want to hear it. Put it in the comments, share, talk to your Three Rivers person, tell us what your dreams are, and we'll see how we can help you make them come true.
Okay, I do have one surprise for you guys.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So there are some things there behind the flowers.
How would I have known?
We should have known. This is the best.
So there are instructions. You're gonna have to twist with the arrow.
Love it.
So we're gonna
Just like
do it.
opposite directions.
We'll
Yeah.
look at your arrow.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
We're gonna do it on 3.
Okay.
1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
Yay! That was awesome.
Well, thank you, Nicole, so much for coming on. It was a great to have you here, and you just shared so much wisdom with our guests. Thank you, Ashley. We will see you guys in a couple weeks.
Thanks for listening to the Three Rivers Financial Wellness Podcast. While we're excited that you join us on this journey of financial wellness, we do need to give you a short disclaimer. This podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't intended as financial, tax, or investment advice. Be sure to consult your own experts before making financial decisions. Three Rivers is federally insured by the NCUA and is an equal housing lender.